Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Marketing the Invisible. I'm Tom Poland, beaming out to you from the sunny Sunshine Coast here in Australia. Joined today by Laura Patterson. Laura, a very warm welcome from down under. Where are you based?
I'm in very sunny Austin, Texas.
Oh, Austin. I love Austin. Keep Austin weird. Sort of
Yeah, exactly.
the intellectual capital of the USA. New Yorkers might argue with that, but, but it's just this wonderfully innovative, buzzing city. Um, Laura is a #1 Amazon best-selling author of the book Fast Track Your Business, a customer-centric approach to accelerate market growth. And this, folks, this is a paradigm shift. This is a way of looking at growing your business that's not internally focused, it's externally focused. You start with the customer base. Is something that I'm guilty of missing constantly in my marketing. So I'm looking forward to hearing your insights, Laura. Title, folks, is very simple, very benefit rich: how to grow your business faster. Laura, our time is going to start now. Question number 1 is, who is your ideal client?
So, Tom, thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to be here. So, since 1999, which is when we founded Vision as Marketing, we have served B2B customers, and they are unique in that they want to be able to be very smart about how they grow organically. So, smart is an important part of their ingredient. And typically, these customers they are facing a customer of their own that has multiple people in the buying decision. It's a considered sell, it's a long sales
Mm,
cycle, there's some
mm.
complexity to the product. So that's a kind of typical customer for us.
Very interesting. So it's business to business. There's multiple decision makers. This is a difficult sale. I mean, it's not just sitting down with one person over coffee and they go yes or no. So, well, I'm sure we're going to unpack that. Tell us, to start the unpacking process, tell us a bit more about the problem you solve.
We help them avoid what we call random acts.
Right.
So, and we're all guilty of it. Even we sometimes are guilty of it, whether it's random acts of selling, random acts of marketing, random acts of strategy, random acts of process. Companies do a lot of random acts, and we
Mm.
help them avoid doing that because random acts are very expensive. And so most of our customers are cost conscious. They want to be able to deliver, but they got to make money doing it. And
Right.
so that's
So,
important to them.
so you're talking about the sort of the knee-jerk reaction stuff. Oh gosh, we don't have enough clients. Let's go to a trade show, or let's go to a conference, or whatever. So, and
Or let's do a social media campaign. Let's
right,
do a new email campaign.
right.
Let's run a podcast series.
So, but they haven't sat down yet and thought about this strategically. What's repeatable? What's the marketing message, et cetera, et cetera. So it's that old thing of putting the tactics before the strategy. So, and I suppose that is, a bit like, I mean, I used to call it being a pinball in a pinball machine. You just feel like you're bouncing around with all these different ideas. So tell us, you've kind of given us a part of the answer to the next question and the question 3 is, what are the typical symptoms that your clients are experiencing before engaging with you? And one of them is obviously these knee-jerk, these random acts you're talking about.
Yeah.
What else is happening in the business that they could look at and they go, okay, we need to find out more
Trouble.
about Laura's work?
They have trouble telling their story because they have not done a good job of really thinking about their value prop, their positioning, their
Right.
messaging, and how to differentiate themselves. As a result, they get low customer engagement and they have a challenge with customer acquisition, customer retention rates,
Yeah.
and they have all of them have one thing else in common. They really struggle to link investments and activities to business results.
The link, say that again, please.
To link investments and activities to business results. They
Right.
can do a lot of things and they can measure
Yeah.
these things,
Right. Right.
but they can't tell the leadership team how those things link back to a business result.
Right. So they don't know what actually worked, why it worked, and what their ROI, return on investment, was. And we're talking about, anyone that's involved in random acts. I mean, and a lot of these people, don't know how to do this stuff, and that's is where you come in, and that, folks, if you need, and you also, even if you think you know how to do this, you just need someone outside your own head to ask the questions and to guide and mold the responses, and that's where people like Laura come in. That's why her services can be so extraordinarily invaluable. So we are, though, talking about organizations that are proactive and they know they need to be marketing and they're out there. So there's a lot of boxes being ticked here. That said, they're going to make mistakes. One of them is obviously putting the tactics before the strategy, and you just mentioned another one, not linking the activity to the results to the investment. What other mistakes have you seen folks make before they reach out
How
to you and
about
become
not having a strategy at all?
Yeah, right.
That's one. A lot of them also are there to you, and you made this point right at the very beginning, Tom. They're internally oriented instead of externally oriented. So they don't have any customer-centric sort of measurable
Right.
focus. They have poor processes. That's a big thing. It's one thing to have a strategy, but if you don't have the processes in place to execute, that can be a problem. Poor choices in performance measures, and that's a huge conversation we should say for another time. And then last, which is back to our point about being smart about the way to grow, is they don't really know how to use their data well. They have a lot of data, but they don't know how to use it.
Folks, I just want to underline all of this, and I know I'm interviewing Laura here and she's not interviewing me, but I just wanted to add to that this is just, you're listening to the voice of experience when we're listening to Laura. You're listening to someone who thinks things through carefully. And I know just even from before we started this interview, Laura, the questions you were asking me, to iron out any potential wrinkles well in advance. So you look ahead, you're seeing what the issues might be, you're formulating questions to resolve those issues ahead of time. And so I'm saying this, folks, because I interview a lot of people, but it's pretty rare I interview someone like Laura who has really articulated the issues and delivered conceptually in principle at least the solutions as succinctly as you have, Laura. So, and folks, I'm interviewing Laura because I think she's really good at what she does. I'm not getting any affiliate commission or anything like this. This is just someone you should be speaking to if you fit the description that Laura's just articulated. Let's flip it from mistakes and how terrible these people are. We know they're not. They just need a hand. To something that they can do. Top tip, question 5. What's one thing that someone can do? It's not going to solve the whole problem, but it might take them a step in the right direction.
One of the things they can do is back to that linkage, and the tool to do that, the secret to doing that well, is to have what we call logic or metrics chains. And if you go onto our website at vigilantemarketing.com and you type in logic chains or metrics chains, things will come up and will tell you how to do them. But it is the secret sauce, and that is something everybody should be thinking about whenever they create a plan, whether it's a sales plan, a marketing plan, any plan.
So it's visionedgemarketing.com. And what are they searching for here with the linkage? For the linkage?
Just type in the search metrics chain or logic chains, data chains.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot.
Cool. And the folks, that's at the top of the page. All right. Thank you for that. Question 6. Valuable free resource. Well, we've probably already given them that, but folks, you can go to visionedgemarketing.com. What else is there they can search for? Because there's quite a lot on there. I can see that there's free resources.
Hundreds of things are on there. All of them are free. But one thing we recommend for any company that is focused on being customer centric is check out our white paper. It's free to download. Bring your A game to a customer empowered market. And there's an infographic in there and it will help you with thinking about some of your measures.
So folks, again, if you go to visionedgemarketing.com, go to the search button at the top and just type in customer-centric marketing, you're going to find that white paper. And I've already had a look at it, and it's really just interesting.
Type in customer DNA and it'll come up.
Customer DNA, thank you, and come up. So visionedgemarketing.com, search button, top of the homepage, customer DNA. Last question, Laura, and I've gone over time, but that's my bad, not yours. What's the one question I should have asked you but didn't?
So one of the things that we get asked a lot is, you could give us one piece of advice to the C-suite or the board of directors, what would it be? And I will say, be vigilant about maintaining the balance between creating customer value and creating business value. And if you have to put your thumb on the scale, put the thumb on the side of creating customer value.
Right. Brilliant. That's such good advice. That's really worth pondering. Laura Patterson, thanks so much for your insight and sharing your experience with us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for checking out our Marketing the Invisible podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to generate 5 fresh leads in just 5 hours, then check out www.5hourchallenge.com.